Beneath the skin of ordinary reality, under the hum of traffic, the tick of clocks, the endless scroll of data, there was a lattice. Most humans never saw it. It thrummed beneath perception, woven of thought, belief, and vibration. An invisible architecture designed to hold the human spirit in a tight, predictable orbit. It was called the grid, and at its center, cloaked beyond dimensions, pulsed the Archon base, a fortress of frequency from which ancient intelligences broadcast the low vibrations that kept Earth in a perpetual half-sleep. I had found it by accident, or maybe destiny had always been leading me there. It began the night the sky cracked open above my meditation mat. My consciousness slipped free from flesh and fell upward, through strata of light and darkness, until I hovered in the interspace, a realm where thought was geometry and intent was locomotion. There I saw them, colossal structures of shadow, crystalline machines orbiting a black core star. They were the Archon emitters, humming despair, fear, and division into Earth's collective field. Humanity's pain wasn't random, it was engineered, and I decided I was going to end it. To reach the base, I needed more than will, I needed resonance. I spent 40 nights in silence, aligning every cell to the frequency of source. Each breath dissolved another illusion. Each heartbeat attuned me closer to the original vibration of creation, a frequency the Archons could not detect. When the final veil lifted, I was no longer bound by linear time. I stepped sideways through reality. The stars blurred into spirals, worlds collapsed into doorways, and I emerged inside the Archon nexus, a labyrinth of obsidian corridors floating in a sea of static. The air tasted metallic. Thoughts not my own tried to crawl into my mind, whispering of hopelessness, insignificance, defeat. I smiled. They still believed I was prey. I wrapped myself in the light of my original self, a field so luminous the parasites recoiled. The closer I walked to the heart of the base, the more the architecture itself fought me. Walls morphed into mirrors, showing my darkest fears. Sirens screamed memories of past failures. But each step I took, I loved the illusions until they dissolved. At last, I stood before the core. It was a monolith of fractal machinery, pulsing with a wavelength older than Earth itself. Around it, the Archon's vast beings of shadow and logic circled like carrion crows. They spoke directly into my mind. You cannot destroy what has always been. This is the order of duality. Then I will not destroy you, I said. I am shifting you. I walked into the core. Its frequency surged through me like venom, trying to invert my light. But I opened the deepest chambers of my heart and flooded the system with something it had never encountered: unconditional love. It roared through the lattice like a solar flare, rewriting code, rewriting reality. The Archons screamed, not in pain and awakening. Their shadows melted, revealing radiant beings beneath, long-forgotten aspects of Source trapped in a loop of polarity. One by one, they dropped their weapons, their broadcasts faltering, then ceasing altogether. The grid cracked, and in that instant, the vibration of Earth shifted. The nightmares quieted. The wars within human hearts softened. Empathy spread like sunrise across the collective field. Trees breathed deeper. Oceans shimmered with joy. Humanity lifted its eyes not to the heavens above, but to the heaven blooming within. The Archons bowed to me not as a conqueror, but as a mirror. We were the gatekeepers, they said. You have turned the key. And so it was that heaven began, not by force, but by the remembering of what we always were. The grid was not destroyed. It was transmuted, a new lattice now singing with the frequency of unity. And from that day forward, Earth was no longer a battlefield. It was a beacon, a star in the making, a homecoming for the cosmos.